Hey, what's up everybody? It's Christmas Eve when I'm recording this, so happy Christmas to everyone. And I have a special treat for you. I have a video podcast this time. So I had a chat with somebody who made a comment on my video, and this is how we met. We talked about Figma and tried to find a solution together, and we ended up recording a podcast. We're talking a lot about how to start a business as a freelancer, what does it mean, how is it to work remotely, what else? How to approach clients when you don't really have, this big flashy portfolio when you're just starting off. And don't forget to subscribe. It's super important. So if you haven't already, click that subscribe button somewhere over there and let's enjoy podcast now. In this podcast, I have a special guest. I will not introduce you. You will do that for yourself. I want you to tell me everything because we just met, so I still don't know some things and I would like to learn. So off you go.
Awesome. Okay. Hello, Internet. I am Philip. Philip Wallage, which is a Dutch name. Yes, I am from the Netherlands. I'm 34 years old, and 10 weeks ago I became a father of a beautiful son.
Congrats.
And thank you. And I'm a designer, a digital designer for over 15 years. And that might also hint a little bit about how we might have met.
Yes, but it's a beautiful thing how we met. It was on the YouTube actually.
Definitely, yeah.
It's so beautiful because, I started this channel so I would meet people, I would share knowledge, make connections and do something with it, just try to see what's outside my room and my computer. And then you needed some feedback. We quickly jumped into a call and now we're talking. Now we are recording a podcast. Isn't that great?
It's kind of funny. You said, I wanted to know what was outside of my room. And on the internet, you found people who are also inside of their room. So it's kind of full circle again.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's weird. You're not actually going outside room. You're just like going into other people's room simultaneously. Yeah. Weird. But, tell me more about yourself. Because it's very interesting. You have like a little agency of your own, right?
Yeah, I think like the short version, and we can get into more details if you want more. But the short version is that I've been, like I said, a digital designer for 15 years, and throughout those years, I've always bounced against certain areas that I liked or didn't like from my profession. So first I started as a web designer, so I sold WordPress websites to small businesses. I guess a lot of us may have done this. And I got really frustrated when you would ask clients, why would people choose your service or your product or not your competitors? Like, what is the problem you're solving? I don't think that I had like that specific phrasing yet at that point in time. But the client would be more like, I don't have that much time. Don't ask too many difficult questions. I just need a website. So I felt that there was a real mismatch in what I liked to be doing and what I was doing. And also going into more depth with a client to figure out what is really important takes up a lot of time. And the businesses that I was helping simply did not have the budget. So it's not their fault. I think it's really important to be always critical about what it is that you're trying to achieve and are you doing it in the right place. It's like selling refrigerators on the North Pole. You could be complaining that no one is buying it, but does it make sense of what you're doing? So I switched it up to UX designer, which is a lot more about knowing and understanding your users. And I've been freelancing for many years, where I was quite often the in-house freelancer, working on projects for months, half a year, and sometimes longer. The latest pivot in that specific area was that I was really sick of traveling. The daily commute was grinding away, so I traveled from Deventer, which is a city in Holland, to Amsterdam, which was a 2 hours.
Oh my God.
Commute to get there. Wait, and 2 hours to get back
You
home.
traveled every day for 4 hours to work?
4 days a week for half a year on that specific
one. Oh my God. What did you do?
Yeah.
Like, did you use like a train or a bus or something like that?
It was I actually I have a booster board, which is an electric skateboard, which is a lot of fun. So I used that to get from my house to the train station, which was about 15 minutes. The train ride was about an hour and 15 minutes, and then because it was not at Amsterdam Central, you had to take like a subway or a metro or a bus, and you would lose like another 20 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was a pretty pain in the ass, and I kind of outdone myself there, so I was heading towards a burnout. I had to take some time off, and it really inspired me to work remotely. So even before the COVID misery that we're currently in, I was already working remotely. So I already had all my workshops in Miro or Mural, and I was already kind of doing that. So to me, I wouldn't say it was a blessing, because a lot of people are suffering from it, so I wouldn't say that, but I've been fortunate enough that it didn't have like such an too negative impact on my life and my business.
Yeah, you were already a pro in like doing these things. I remember when my company first started to do everything remotely, I was completely lost. First of all, I didn't have, a proper corner or a room where I could work as a normal human being. It was, a table from IKEA for $20 and a computer, and behind me racks with clothes, sleeping bed, some furniture, and it was not good. And chair was also from IKEA for like 10 euros or something, so like the cheapest you can find, definitely not something you can sit on 8 hours, day in, day out. So it was horrible. My productivity, and I'm usually a very productive person, like from here, it just dropped. I'm showing with my hand, like doom, like zero, below zero. Like I think for like a full week, I was just like lost. I didn't know what to do. Everything seemed like horrible. Like I don't have place to work, and I don't know, like the apartment was so tiny. But you got it, like you had everything. That's super nice.
Was it a big change for you when you worked like in an office and you had to work remote, where you would be sitting undisturbed behind your monitor for 8 hours without anyone coming up to you like, hey, can I ask you something? And was that a change for you, like working in one setting?
Yeah, I have to say it was. I think bad like office space, I'm doing quotation marks here, was the biggest problem. That definitely hindered my productivity for many days, weeks even. And actually in my previous workplaces I didn't have so much interruptions with, hey, can I just run this by you, blah blah blah. It was usually me who was going to the other room, and then can we check this together, like me coming to developers who were in my team, and then making sure we are on the same page and everything is working according to specs. So these like interruptions, they didn't happen, so I didn't miss them. The only thing I missed was I usually went around noon with my co-workers to have lunch. And that was over. It was, you sit in your underwear and eat your shitty lunch, and then you continue working. So that was a big change. It was weird. But I have to say, after this whole shit show, I said to myself, I will never in my life again work 5 days in office again. And that's it. That's it.
I've been investing in like silly comfort things, and I guess like a proper desk chair, it doesn't qualify as a silly investment, but I found like this foot bag that you can just like go bare feet in, and it like heats your feet and has like a massage thing, and I'm a little bit ashamed about that this will be on the internet, but you need to make yourself comfortable working from home. Like get those nice pants.
Yes, yes.
Get that foot warmer, get that espresso machine on your desk. I mean, it's also about being comfortable and relaxing a bit. I mean, for me, I've been traveling through my tiny country for years, and now I'm like, you know what? I'm sitting behind my computer. This saves me like 2 to 4 hours every day traveling. I'm fine. I can take a walk for an hour. I can leave this desk. I'm not locked up in here. I mean, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, and also flexibility. I mean, first, you save so much with commuting, so you get a lot more hours to your personal life, which is always super nice. Your happiness is definitely a little bit higher level than previously. But also what happens is you might have like a delivery, or you might like quickly, I don't know, drop your car to change oil or whatever. And it usually that these places work as like the same as you, like 9 to 5, for example. But now like you can, schedule for like 20 minutes and come back and nothing will, burn to the ground. If you're in the office, it's not probably happening. You need to take a day off or half a day off. Then you need to, repay by staying next weeks for a couple of hours after work. It's horrible. But I have to say, like, benefits of working remotely are huge, and I don't miss office at all. I don't want to ever return, to be quite honest. I'm much more productive at home in my corner where nobody is bugging me. I don't hear sounds. I can sit however I want. Sometimes I want to have my legs, in a weird position. I can do that in the office. Sometimes I don't change from pajamas because I feel like sitting in pajamas. And
these are the right pajamas. They don't need to be changed. These are perfect Monday pajamas.
Yeah, and sometimes, you skip shower because, you're at home for months and months. But in office, it's not possible because people will be like, hey, why are you hobo today?
Yeah.
Something wrong with you.
And I mean, we don't have to be like the working remote beneficiaries or the salespeople of working remote. Everyone is doing it now, but I think what I really enjoy about it is also I get so fewer disturbances.
Yeah,
I can really say, like, I have my time timer, like my cooking clock. I can say, okay, I'm going to read this book for 20 minutes. Okay, I'm going to prepare this workshop for 30 minutes. And between every session, I can take some time, relax, and it's so less stressful.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm able to focus a lot more. So I'm really positive about it. And I think what people are negative about is like the things they're lacking, like being able to meet with people, having lunch with your colleagues, and like more of that stuff. And yeah, I think that's something that we can look for once the Corona BS is over again.
Until something new comes. Ta-da.
Yeah, but I mean, before the Corona, I was also working like a day or two in like the offices of other development agencies who I partner with often, and it's really nice to be around people. I mean, it can get a little bit lonely, or you can be in a bit of solitude, I guess.
Yeah, but also it's very personal.
Yeah.
I don't mind being like most of the time like solo. I'm like super productive by myself. Sometimes it's nice to have fun, but with people. But yeah, I guess it's personality. But you know what? I wanted to ask you something. You mentioned development agencies. So you have your little agency. You offer consultancy, right?
Yeah, there are so many names for it. Basically, what the commercial proposition is that I help companies to achieve their goals, which is an incredibly vague thing to say, because there are many ways to achieve a goal. Since I'm specialized in design, I'm a big fan of design thinking, and a big part of that is understanding why a company exists, why are they on this planet, what are they doing, and why do they do it, but also who are they doing it for. And a lot of organizations, they need to have something to work on. They want to improve, they want to grow, or they want to become more effective, and that's what I can help them with. And with design thinking, I'm able to help them to figure out, okay, what is it that we're trying to achieve? Who are our stakeholders, or the people who are important for us to be able to solve their problems? And how are they experiencing it? So this is more about customer journey, and then figuring out, okay, if we want to achieve this thing and our stakeholders are experiencing this, how can we solve those problems for the stakeholders in order to solve what we want to achieve. I hope
Okay.
that's not too
No, it's like very reasonable, at least for me. My next question is, do you work usually with like smaller early startups, or are you working with like corporations with, you know, humongous amount of teams and people?
Yeah, I work with both,
Okay.
but I feel that we fit best with corporations.
Oh, okay.
The thing with corporations is that, or actually, a lot of business opportunities arise really quickly in the world. Like something happens, COVID, or a situation happens that companies can react to. A startup can say, you know what, we see this problem in the market, we'll start on it today.
Yeah.
Like we can drop what we're doing, or we can hire 2 new people and they will be head of this new idea. But for corporations, you have layers of management. So when you see an opportunity in the market, you can say, oh, this might be interesting. We're going to research it. We're going to ask for the resources to figure out what this means to us as a business, or we'll hire consultancies, and it'll take months of time. You'll have like books of paperwork, and it will cost a lot of money. And by that time, the startup is already like 3, 4, 5 months ahead of you.
True.
And being first sometimes is even more important than being right.
Yeah.
So for me, I think the design thinking, lean, agile, design sprints, I think it's all about working as effective and quickly as possible in order to offer value as quickly as possible. And corporations struggle with that more than startups. And it actually, in a way, I'm able to help a corporation to function like a startup in that matter.
That's very interesting angle. Like, do they approach you at this point, or do you do some selling? Like, how do you even start? I mean, I have to say this is like a little bit selfish question, but I'm pretty sure many people will want to know. Sometimes we all want to be freelancers, but we don't know how to start, like how to approach clients, what things you need to have in your like portfolio or your pitch in order to land a job. So can you maybe share some of your wisdom?
Sure. It is important to figure out what you want to do, because working as a freelancer is a completely different beast than trying to build an agency. If you want to be a freelancer, a designer, UI designer, UX designer, visual designer, or whatever type of designer, brand, whatever you want to do, if you want to be a freelancer, it's actually more of a type of contract. So normally a company would hire someone with a regular contract, and if you're a freelancer, they hire you as a business and you invoice them by the hour or whatever type of agreement you have. If you want to be a freelancer, my advice is to be quite honest, like make sure you have a decent enough portfolio that you are able to communicate what it is that you do and how it's valuable to an organization, and reach out to recruiters. There are a lot of recruitment agencies and actually larger corporations. So for example, I freelance for PwC, Philips, Vodafone, Heineken, Adidas, Lego, like a lot of those corporations. They don't hire you directly. Like they don't want to deal with 500 independent contracts for freelancers. So they actually work with something called preferred suppliers, which are recruiters that they have like the exclusive deal on delivering talent to that company. So if you want to work for a specific company, you could reach out to them and ask them, hey, I'm a freelancer, I would love to work with you guys, but I'm guessing you work with like recruiters, preferred suppliers. Could I ask you who those suppliers are so I could introduce myself to them? Maybe they would say like, well, we're interested to hear what you're saying, or they could point you to the right people.
That's very interesting.
Another approach would be to simply go into LinkedIn and search, or Google and search for like UX recruiter, UX designer, freelance UX designer, and like find the websites that like actually have those offers. Like we're looking for a freelance UX designer for our client, which we won't name because it's a secret. And like do some LinkedIn headhunting, like find out who the people are who work at that recruitment agency, and say, hey, I'm the best UX UI designer. I have a portfolio which I want to show you because I'm certain that you can place me with one of your fabulous clients.
Well, you
so
see,
I think
that's excellent. Yeah, go on.
So yeah, I'm listening.
I'm listening.
So that would be like my if you want to be a freelancer mini guide. And be aware that recruiters take like a chunk of your hourly rate. So if they would say, well, we have this position and the budget is 75 euros an hour, are you okay with that? And if you're like, but my hourly rate is 80 or 85 or 100, you might not get it. And make sure it's your decision, that they don't force you to lower your rate to drop underneath what you want to be earning. But understand that they will make like a percentage more on your hourly rate. So for every hour that you're working, the recruiters will make like anywhere between 5, 10 till 50 euros. So always be comfortable with what you make and just don't worry about what the recruiters do. Like they build the relationship with the client. They are your salespeople. So be okay with that. And if you're not okay with that, find another way. But that's just something that I wanted to throw in there to avoid sadness.
This is excellent. I have to say, I have been listening to many podcasts. I've been watching and listening many YouTube videos, reading a lot of posts, like with different tactics and, tips how to do freelancing and yada, yada, yada. And I have to say, your tips right here, right now, were most concrete tips I have ever heard. So thank you for that. I hope others will.
You're welcome.
I really think others will appreciate it as well, because it's really like, golden. Usually people are full of shit like, you just need to, send email and then cold calling is the best. Like, you just need to do it. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't work.
There are like some dark side tactics, I guess, which are something like use at your own risk. A lot of recruiters use like LinkedIn bots, and I'm sure if you have on LinkedIn something like freelance React developer or freelance Vue developer, freelance front ender or designer or whatever it is, you will get like random messages. Hi, this is the recruiter, and I have an opportunity with this client, and it's just an automatic message.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is, you could also play it the other way around. If you're a freelancer and you're looking for recruiters, you could also say, I'm going to Google something like LinkedIn bots or LinkedIn targeting, LinkedIn automation, whatever. Once again, use at your own risk, because there is the risk that you will be banned from LinkedIn because automation is not allowed.
Naturally.
You could use it to look for recruiters and say, hi, I'm a freelance UX designer, and I would love to have an opportunity to present you my resume and my portfolio, and hopefully you would find it interesting enough to present me to one of your clients.
Okay, that's cool tactics. Although, let's emphasize once again, dark hat, maybe not, Also,
exactly.
I have been dabbling a little bit in this like online selling, because I'm also trying to build my own agency. Although right now we don't have clients. We just completed a project very recently, and it's busy. It's like December, and it's just not the time for a full-time job to take on extra job. And I have like a YouTube channel and podcast and like lots of hobbies, so I seriously don't have time right now for that. But I would like to build it one day. So I started with, I need to connect with people. So I use this service called Hunter, I believe, for like crawling email addresses on a website.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a really, really good one. Like if you want to be efficient and just open a website and just, snatch all the emails, and sometimes you get really nice meta info, like this is CEO, this is sales, la la la. And then you don't have to waste your time in like searching the right person. And when I was using it like a few months ago, they had this free tool for sending let's say, emails. It's not like a newsletter, but like, making email campaigns with these emails you just got from somewhere, which is super nice. I hope to use it maybe next year at one point for some project, but let's see. And also, well, this is like a little bit derailing into slightly different topic, but I want to do more video stuff. This is something that's my new passion. And I want to do like these small commercials for social media, just a few seconds, quick ones for all kinds of brands. It can be like, some hardware like a mouse or chips, whatever, a drink. And of course, I went to YouTube and I was searching for how to make a commercial, how to sell it, blah, 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 blah. And then there was this one super funny guy who had like some hot sauce, and he made a commercial just like, mashing different scenes together. And then what he did is, well, the title of the video was Earn $500. And he basically called the company, like the CMO, and he was like bugging him on LinkedIn and stuff. And he managed to get in touch with these people, and they actually said, yes, we will buy your spec ad for 500, which is like, for me, insane. Like, he just created it in a couple of days, bugged them, showed them, and they were like, yeah, okay, yeah, we will buy. And then probably they put it somewhere on social media. So I was like, okay, I will try the same, because it works, right? If it's on YouTube, it works. So
it must be true.
Yeah, so I'm drinking a lot of energy drinks lately. Don't do that at home, it's really bad. And I thought I will do a little commercial with that. I was like throwing strawberries in camera, splashing water, sprinkling cans because it has to be sweaty and cold, right?
Sweaty energy drinks are the best.
Yes, and then making a false smoke with vaping, like this little machine, like throwing stuff. I mean, it was super funny, very messy, but I think the end product for first time was exceptionally good. And I uploaded it on YouTube. I sent email to this company twice. Then I got a LinkedIn trial, so I could have this email messages.
Oh yeah, the sales navigator.
And I found a person who is some marketing director or somebody in charge of marketing in that company, and I sent like a very nice personal email like, hey, this is creative duo here, from Helsinki, do you want to blah blah blah. Nothing. Not a single reply. Not like, don't bug me anymore. Why are you contacting me? I don't want to do anything with nothing. It was like blank. Maybe I picked like the wrong company, but it was so demotivating. Oh my god.
Yeah, I need to stop you right there, because I do know that like do you have like an idea of how much you need to communicate with someone before you have like a proposition or a deal on average?
I don't know. You tell me.
12.
What?
So 12 contact moments before, like, it's, hey, hi. Okay, let's say for example we go through like a customer journey, right, for the sales thing. And I'm not a video expert. I do have some friends who are also into video, so I might be able to introduce you to them as well. But let's say designers have their portfolio and some cases, and a videographer or cinematographer, they have their show reel. It's like a 1 or 2 minute compilation of like the work they've done, and super flashy and beautiful shots, whatever. So you're reaching out to a company and you're saying like, hey, I made this, and they're watching it and they're like, cool.
Okay, good for you.
Yeah, here's your sticker. Have a nice day.
Yes.
And it's I'm not like, I'm not really a commercial sales guy. Like it doesn't come natural to me, but I've been doing it for a long time, and I've been reading and studying on it and trying to get better at it. But it's really about what's in it for them. And I think if you made something and you want to show it, it's one thing, but it's about it's different if you're saying like, hey, I made something and I think it's cool for you, can you have a look? It's completely different when you talk about I'm a big fan of your product. I'm aware that you've launched a new product this year and I'm really interested in learning how the adoption rate goes in the market. The reason why I'm asking is because I'm a videographer and I want to help companies to make sure that when they create a new product, it gets the right amount of attention that it needs on social media. So I've made, to show you an example, I have this 40-second video, which is perfect for social media because that's like the attention span. Is this something that I can have a chat with you about somewhere this week? Does that sound good? It's like you're explaining to them why it is important to them. You're asking a question, like I'm reaching out to you because this is something that I would like to know from you. And you're trying to have an action, like, can we talk about this somewhere this week? So you're also like giving it a bit of a deadline.
Actually, I did exactly that with my first email. It was exactly like that. Who are we? Why did we do it? How we can help them? Reducing costs, because why would you pay like a whole agency with a whole team in order to make like a set of these small commercials for social media when you can just pay, couple of creatives that can do everything like literally from their home.
So that's like a cost saving thing.
Yeah.
And it's always also about A/B testing, because like if you have like a banner or an advertisement on AdWords or Facebook, like the conversion or the click rate is somewhere between 1 to 3%. So imagine that you would need to send out like 100 emails. And you could say, well, okay, this is my first version where we talk about we're a cost saving, we're very cost effective because we're small and we work from home. But maybe they have money falling out of their pockets, right? Maybe they don't care. Yeah, maybe they don't care about cost saving. Maybe it's something like we're the baddest B-words from Berlin or wherever, like we are like the cool new hip. We produce like the coolest shit that you need on social to still stand out today. Maybe their problem with their current agency or the current content creators that they have, it might be something, they produce a fine product, but it doesn't get engagement. Maybe so it's also about trying out, but like go for volume, like don't get discouraged about, it's good that you invest like the time to find the right person and writing the right message, but like do it 100 times and then analyze what worked well and what didn't. Like don't give up after 1 or 2 tries.
That's a good advice, actually. Yeah, I really needed to hear that. Thank you. And also a sub question on the same topic. How do you even start with that kind of business if you're just literally starting out? Like you don't have this massive, beautiful, high quality portfolio that you can just show to somebody's face and they'll be like, yes, take me. So like, would you change the way you are putting like your words together in this email if, you don't have that much to show?
I think we have to like peel the banana skin on that one, because like we're assuming that we need to have a portfolio.
Yeah.
The question is, do you need a portfolio? If you are, I think it's important to know what it is that you do, and I don't mean. If we're talking about designers, as like a topic, like I think people can relate what a designer does, and it's quite easy to think we need a portfolio. So you have done some work, and now you're going to send that to companies. Like, I made this, and it's kind of happens like the same thing. They're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And it's not about what you've made; it's about what you can do for that business.
But how can you prove that you can that you have necessary skill? Like, for example, what happened. So with my girlfriend, we're trying to have this like little agency, like creative agency for creating websites and also like video stuff, photo stuff, and marketing stuff, whatever. And we had potential client. And that client was like, okay, I'm interested, I need this video, blah, blah, blah. And it was going great. And then when she saw this like demo work, which we created with this ad that never went anywhere, but it's a good like portfolio piece, I think. She was like thrown immediately into like, we need to, it's like outdoorsy videos she needed. So Finland is not a place where you do that because it's like literally dead and dark and gray. And I said, we need to travel somewhere south. Oh my God, we need to do that. Like, if she didn't see that piece, she would be like, oh yeah, okay, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
But that proof was like, boom, like, wow.
You needed to show her what it was and then get like an initial reaction to get a better understanding of what it is she needed.
And also, when you are looking for a job, any job, they ask you for your resume, right? Proof that you actually know what you're like promising in that email or applying for. So I don't know, it seems for me like a humongous blocker if you don't have like some sort of portfolio, like a couple of work, something that people are like, yeah, you're like a beginner, you don't know what you're doing. I don't know how to overcome that.
Okay. I know from like a visual design perspective, there is like a daily UI challenge. It is, if you Google it, you'll find it. It's like 100-day UI challenge, and every day you get like an email, and it is like design a login screen, design an ID card, design this. So there are ways to work without having a client. That way you are able to produce something, and I think, as you said, if you want to work for a client, you can make something as a concept and then send it to them saying like, I made this for you and this is why I think it might be interesting. Could I talk to you about this? So there are things you can do. So you can create something on your own. You can create something specifically for a client. And I think that's about it. But if you don't have any work, what is it that you're selling? I mean, if you never made like a design, how will you explain to someone that you're a designer?
True that.
If you never design something first. But
I have also a hot tip when it comes to, nobody wants to hire me. Like, that you can do, like you did, like a shit ton of practice on your own, maybe some personal projects. By the way, it's super funny. Like, I see a spinner usually like in the middle of your nose. It's super funny. It's going to be excellent on a video.
That's not a spinner. I have that on my nose. It's a birth defect, actually.
Oh, okay. Now it's gone.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's back. It was lying. But anyway, on the topic of finding clients or work, what helped me a lot was doing some pro bono stuff for non-profits. You get to do something good, help somebody, and you get a piece of, work for a portfolio, probably testimonial as well, and some, maybe, sometimes you can even give a number from those people you've been working with. I mean, they are like, let's say, legal entity, so they should have some say. So they can call, she was super nice, we worked on this website, it was great, she helped us a lot, I mean, super great. And also, companies love when people do some pro bono work. Like, I guess it proves that you're a normal human being, at least, or trying to be one. So non-profits, if you are seeking for some work, they need everything.
I think it's also interesting to figure out like in what industry you would like to work.
Yeah.
If you have like a specific branch, because I do believe in relevance. That I've worked in a lot of different industries, from transport and logistics to medical to finance to education, and I'm a real generalist in my industry experience. But if you're really excited about sports, or you have like a background in something medical, maybe you used to work as a psychiatrist, or you've done something else and you switched towards something else, like use that specific niche in what it is you're doing and want to do. And secondly, it's one of what I think is one of the hardest things to do, but it's incredibly valuable. If you get turned down for a position or a job and someone else gets it, ask what they liked more in that client or what you could have done differently. And it's really, really hard to do that because I still lose pitches. I still don't get jobs from time to time. Luckily, overall I'm doing well, no worries. But when you lose like a pitch, it's a pain in the ass. It's like, oh man, I really wanted it. I've invested time in my proposal. I made this great slide deck, and it's okay. Swallow your pride and honestly ask them, what could I have done better, or was there something you didn't like? Because at the end of the day, that will be like the most valuable learning points. You'll get to understand what a client was looking for, or if there was something in your story that they didn't like, or an area that you might be able to learn more about or grow into. Because at the end of the day, if someone asks you like, what is your biggest weakness, or like one of the things you struggle with, you can say, well, in the past I've heard that maybe my skill in design systems was a bit limited, and in order to tackle that, I've invested some time in doing this and this and this, and I've learned a lot from it. So I'm really excited about that. I'm growing in that area as well, and that shows like a lot of self-knowledge. You're able to figure out in which areas you're lacking, and you're showing that you want to grow and learn, and you're actually doing that. I mean, that's like, to me, if I would be hiring someone, that would be something that I would be really excited about when I hear someone say that.
So honesty. But yeah, the thing you just said, I double down. Definitely ask for feedback. It's a opportunity for you to learn something, or start to be aware of something you're doing that may be preventing you from getting jobs or whatever. So definitely do that. Sometimes you will not get an answer, but sometimes you will, and it's going to be valuable. But I think we need to go now. Yes, it's time.
It is time.
It is time.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this. It's super fun. I think we have a lot more to chat about, so we should do this again.
Awesome. Yeah, I'd love to help out, and it's been very fun. And if I have some more wisdom to share, I'd love to throw it in there. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining me, and well, until next time. Ciao, ski.